Expect more from your radio. The Point, 98.7 CKPM FM.
98.7 The Point. That's Anderson East, all on my mind. Good morning. It is going to be a nice day out there again today. Lots of sunshine, highs to about 22. A great day for training out there, whether you're doing the Coquitlam Crunch or maybe you're doing some running as you get ready for the Innovative Fitness Adventure Challenge. Nick Hasty is here. You are from something called Physical Literacy for Life, one of the charities that is being supported by this year's Innovative Fitness Adventure Challenge. What is it now? See, I need physical literacy for life. I can't even talk. What is physical literacy for life?
Yeah, so physical literacy is defined by the motivation, confidence, physical competence, knowledge, and understanding to value and take responsibility for engagement in physical activities for your life.
And that's it. If you sit there and you got a very sedative, I can't even talk tomorrow. But if you don't move, your physical literacy is not going anywhere, right? You just get stagnant. It affects your brain, it affects your health, it affects everything else.
Yeah, exactly. It's all encompassing, and really it's all about at a young age or at any age that you enter into activity is really about learning fundamental movement skills, things like hopping, skipping, jumping, throwing, catching, which basically build this repertoire of activities you can use throughout your life.
So what do you do? Do you go into schools, or is this something that kids do after school? How does this work?
Yeah, we have several different projects that we work on. One of them of note is our program called 60-Minute Kids Club, where we do go into the school systems and school boards throughout the year and encourage kids in classrooms and teachers to take on kind of a little competition, basically where they track their habits. So tracking things like the amount of physical activity they get, the hours of sleep they get, and the amount of water consumption they get. And they track those against each other, and at the end, there's usually a winner. Now,
do you go into diet as part of this too? Because some kids eat phenomenally well and other kids, my kid is 10 and he's finally discovering that there's good food and there's bad food. When he eats the bad food, he feels like crap. When he eats the good food, he feels good.
There's no doubt that nutrition is a part of it, and I think that's one of the tracking measures as well. But it's really kind of holistic. The nutrition, the water, the sleep, and the activity, so all encompassing.
Yeah, and it's nice. And one thing I noticed, I'm not sure if Coquitlam is like this, but we're part of School District 43, and being in Port Coquitlam, the schools over there, he's going into middle school now, but his elementary school was really, really great at keeping the kids physically active. They had stuff during the day, then they had the kilometer clubs after school and things like that. So I'm not sure if a lot of schools are doing that now, or if this is something that you guys are trying to get them to do.
Yeah, I think it's kind of evolved over the last few years, and it's definitely building momentum. So we're working hard to gain movement in a lot more school districts, not only in BC and the Lower Mainland here, but across the country as well. So yeah, definitely something that we each year look to take on more and more schools and teachers and classrooms.
Yeah, and usually that comes from the principal, because Michelle Reed, the principal at my kid's school, was very involved in doing this. And another friend of mine, Ross Jacobson, who's a principal at another school, is like that. And he's got him doing basketball and got him doing all these other fun events. And this is great for these kids, because that for a while there, the kids weren't doing anything in school, right? They were just sitting around, and basically it was that little bit of a dead zone for a couple of years.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's all about getting kids active. And I know last year, I believe in the school season, the municipality of Poco actually had an after-school 60-minute kids club where they incorporated these tracking measures, and it went off without a hitch.
That's great, and this is something that we definitely need, because a healthy body, healthy mind, makes for smart kids and good kids.
It does.
Now, how did you get involved with this physical literacy for life? Because you had another career before that.
Yeah, I've always I've come from a background in sport. I was training full time as a triathlete in the past, and then moved into hospitality, then into retail. And I kind of found my space was really in that activity kind of sector. So when the opportunity came up to work with Sport for Life, which is a partner, or kind of the another affiliated society that I work with, it just kind of made a lot of sense for me.
Nice. And you as a triathlete, what was your strong point? The swimming, the cycling, or the running?
Yeah, I grew up as a swimmer, and then I think I'm a little bit small, so I probably had a little bit more difficulty in in kind of the power cycling, but running came quite easily for me.
Nice. And then you moved into retail. What'd you do in retail?
Yeah, prior to Sport for Life and Physical Literacy for Life, I worked with the Mountain Equipment Co-op over at the Broadway flagship store in Vancouver.
That was the original one, wasn't it?
That wasn't technically the original location.
But the original one was on Broadway, but it was down the road farther.
Exactly, yeah. I believe it was down on 4th Avenue. So.
Yeah, because when I lived in Kitts, of course, you live in Kitts, you've got to go, you aren't anybody until you shop at Mountain Equipment Co-op. So if you work there, that means you probably own like 5 kayaks, 6 bicycles, and a whole bunch of hiking boots, right?
Pretty close. I've definitely got the whole repertoire of camping, and I think I'm on my 3rd bike so far.
Nice. And now the Physical Literacy for Life is one of the recipients for the Innovative Fitness Adventure Challenge. That's happening September 9th over in Rocky Point Park. They all start early in the morning on sea kayaks. Because you are this triathlete, I assume you're competing in this.
I'm actually gonna take a backseat in this event. Yeah.
Come on. Really?
Yeah. I've got asked to help out in the background. So
you'll take your knowledge there. Last year was a fun year. So do you know what you're in store for this year?
How do you mean?
Well, because this is fun. I mean, we start with a sea kayak. Some people get confused and they can't operate it. Some people are right on it. Then they do their little trek out there. Then they come back in, and then they do their cycling. Then they do their running and that. So it's kind of like mass confusion, kind of like a Boxing Day sale for a bit.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. So we, basically. We're going to have tons of, about 150 participants. We're going to do a 6-kilometer kayak off of Rocky Point, and then followed by a mildly technical mountain bike route of 17 kilometers, finished by a 6K run along the waterfront. So it's going to be a good time for everyone.
And it is. And this is September 9th, and if you want to get involved, it's ifac.com.
That's right.
And you can get involved with a team. You need a team of 3, don't you?
You actually need so participants can sign up for a team of 2 who are asked to fundraise $1,500, or teams of 4 which fundraise $3,000.
Nice. And Innovative Fitness is fantastic. They've got the one club down here right on Brewers Row, and then they open up another one up in Coquitlam, and then they've got a few other ones around, but they've been great community supporters, and last year they gave a ton of money to the Sport for Life, as well as to kids sports. So it's great to have them involved again.
Yes, always. They're a great partner for us.
Okay, so Nick, this year you're behind the scenes. Next year, I want to see you and 2 of your friends out there competing, and I expect you guys to win this next year, right?
Maybe you can be our 4th member.
If you need an anchor, I will. I'd be a good boat anchor. Nick Hasty, Physical Literacy for Life. How do people find out about Physical Literacy for Life? Where do they go?
So they can go to a couple websites. physicalliteracyforlife.org is the charitable website, and then for a bit more of our programming, physicalliteracy.ca, physicalliteracyforlife.ca.
Now, if somebody is in the school district and they want to get you out, do they just contact you guys, or how do they go about doing that?
So there's some contact information on our websites that can that we can relay them to some of those programs and projects.
Excellent. Nick Hasty, Physical Literacy for Life, all part of the Innovative Fitness Adventure Challenge. It's happening September 9th, Rocky Point Park. It's going to be a fantastic day. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Rod.